Well, hello, and my name is Noor, and I have been involved in the Sufi Order for 42 years now, and so it's been a long journey. My work, or my place really, is within the inner school, the esoteric school, and that has always been my passion and my joy, and it's also been very difficult at times. And I thought I might speak first of all about how I first came into meeting with a Sufi teacher, which was Pir Vilayat. Some of you may have heard of Pir Vilayat. He's the father of Bawa, of Pir Zia. And I was young then, I was about 32. And I was suffering a broken heart and a broken marriage and very commonplace things. I know that people listening will understand that. And I was searching. And so a friend gave me a ticket to a seminar, and I didn't even know what it was. And it was a seminar with Pir Vilayat. And I lived in Manchester at the time, and I had to go to London, and actually it makes me seem very old, but in those days that seemed an awfully long way to go. And but anyway, I did go, and I stayed with friends. And that night I was in great distress and just didn't know where to put myself really, and I thought, what use can it be to go and listen to a stranger talk to me? What am I going to learn? How's that going to help anything? But anyway, I sat with that for a few minutes, but I said to myself, what if you could talk directly to this person, what would you ask? And it came to me as clear as day. What I would ask would be, how do I deal with my anger, my bitterness, my resentment, and my lack of forgiveness? And I actually went off to sleep quite peacefully after that. Anyway, I got up in the morning, went off to the seminar, and I was sitting in the auditorium, and this person came in. It was Pir Vilayat. He was very interesting, looked very interesting, and he sat in his special seat, and there weren't that many people there actually. And he began to talk, and he said, I want to talk to you about how to deal with your anger, your bitterness, your resentment, and your lack of forgiveness. And at that point I knew that I had found my teacher. And I began to feel my life changing from that point. It wasn't a sense of, oh, now I'm being this, now I'm being that, but I felt somehow held among the threads of life, that I was knitted into the kind of fabric of life, and I was growing. And I did take initiation quite quickly. And from being somebody at that age, I was about 32, I think I said, I hadn't been a joiner at all, but I can say I've been satisfied with what I have found within the Inayatiyya. What I was drawn to, I actually, before I got into the Inayatiyya, was very involved in peace work and demonstrations. I was very, very much an activist. But at that point, it's like my life turned within, and I began to more and more be interested in the mystery. And one of the mysteries that really claimed my heart was the mysteries of the divine feminine. And within the inner school, to be honest, I wasn't finding a lot of answers to that particular question at that time. But it became my I say it, my personal journey, but also what I moved towards and eventually arrived at teaching other people and helping other people, because I became a retreat guide and a spiritual guide, and many of the people I was dealing with were women like myself. And we were, I can't say everybody was the same, because none of us are the same, but there was an important dynamic about finding our voice as women in the spiritual communities that we were in, which were rather male, to be frank, and finding the spirit, finding God in the here and now, in the life with our children, with our partners, in the ordinary things of the garden and of retreats, which is kind of a paradox, because a retreat takes you right out of life. And yet for me those two things did go side by side. And I think it has been the work of the Divine Feminine which I have felt most blessed by, and have felt that I have had some agency in sharing with others. So it's been very important. So the Divine Feminine, the mystery, again, I think what I would like to share here, but also what I would like to bring to people coming maybe for teachings or for retreats, is this sense of the mystery of God hidden in plain sight. You know, we don't have to go far. If we're looking, it's there. Often we're looking so hard we look straight past it, but it's there, and it's often very simple, and we do make things so complicated. Now, within the Sufi tradition, we talk about the path of the heart. It is the path of the heart. And what do we mean by that? I mean, we mean that the heart is, Ibn Arabi calls it a spiritual organ. It's an organ of love and an organ of knowing. So we develop through the heart in terms of love and in terms of understanding. You know, the heart, the path of the heart, the initiation of the heart, and the weaving together in one's journey, that one's own path of suffering and brokenness with that of love and action and joy. And for me, that's very much the heart of our path. It is not one or the other. It is both. And there is something about learning, deepening, learning, growing, but then finally understanding that it's not a path where I'm kind of gathering stuff. It's actually a path where I'm learning to serve. I'm learning to serve others. I'm learning to serve my community. I'm learning to serve the Inayatiyya. And it's never quite what I thought it might be. So it's a path of having to let go of perhaps of what you thought it might be, and to listen in the moment for what it actually is. And that's not always so easy, but it's a path of surprise, and I wouldn't change it for anything.